Van Buren and Alma, ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Visit their website at shoponrazorback.com with the largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole. It doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
Green gets the snap, pressure coming. Talon forced to run inside the 40, first down at the 35, inside the 30, to the 20, cuts outside of the 10, 5, touchdown Arkansas, no flags. 41 yards and a score for Talon Green.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
I got that wood.
Sawyer's, been in business since 1990, locally owned and operated.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal to our team. I'm sure it is the coach's team as well, and that's why they call them rivalry games. We just, unfortunately, haven't been able to win up there.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Well, the simple answer to Coach Pittman's statement right there is then play like it. If it means so much to you, then play like it. Hey, welcome into Arkansas Game Day. We're live at Harry Robinson Buick GMC XC11 I-540 in Fort Smith. Arkansas Game Day always presented to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer's Sunrooms. For whatever reason, the Arkansas Razorbacks have never won in Columbia, Missouri. You look at your program as the better one, but in the last decade and a half or so, it hasn't been, and you have struggled mightily when you travel to Como and Faroe Field. Alongside Colton Little, I'm Ty Richardson with you the next 2.5 hours here on Arkansas Game Day. Our number, 877-377-6963. Chris Gordy, who does sports radio in Houston, also Locked On SEC podcast, going to join us at 9:30. Colton, we had some craziness in the SEC last night. 8 overtimes in Athens, Georgia, between the Yellow Jackets and the Bulldogs. I actually woke up during the first overtime. I fell asleep about 7:30 or so and then woke up to, man, this is actually a game. And what it was, man, what a game last night in Athens, Georgia.
It was incredible. Obviously, anytime the games go and they're extra and you get free football, nobody complains. The only thing that I would like to say is that the old overtime rules were so much better, Ty.
Yeah.
They were so much better. And I think that was exemplified last night. It's still corny to make him walk on the other end of the field all the way back and forth both times, do all the things, and then 2-point tries. But, man, it was a game, and it was a battle. And I had gotten home, went to see my grandparents late last night, stopped by and got a little extra food, couple extra leftover plates, stopped and talked to my uncle when the game had ended. They were going into overtime. I left, and it was the 6th overtime, and that was, almost an hour. So 30 minutes or so. It was crazy how long that game just kept going on, and it's one of those that those players will never forget, fans will never forget for watching, and it was certainly exciting. One of those that definitely caps off a great holiday weekend of watching ball, or I guess gets it started.
Yeah, and when you think about an 8 overtime game like you're talking about, you would expect that game to be in the 60s and 70s. But instead, 44-42, the final of last night's game between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. I know that their coach, Brent Key, had to be disappointed in how that outcome came. They're up 27-13 with 5:42 remaining. Have every opportunity to win that football game. Instead, Carson Beck leads his offense in 2 straight touchdown drives. They go to overtime. And then again, Georgia Tech had another opportunity to win. I think it was in the 4th overtime, and just was not their night last night. You feel for the Yellow Jackets because that would have put Georgia in a really difficult spot, because I think if Georgia didn't win the SEC championship game next week, they'd be out if they had lost that game. Instead, they're walking into Atlanta with 2 losses, and even if they lose next week to either Texas or Texas A&M, I expect Georgia to be in the college football playoff.
Yeah, if Georgia would have dropped the game last night, it would have put the committee in quite a conundrum because, Greg Sankey and everybody else has been lobbying for the SEC to have, 4 or 5 teams in if possible. Well, if that's the case, if Georgia, the best team in the conference supposedly year in and year out, the dog has been in the championship, in the playoffs since its inception, they're really going to have some head scratching as if 4 SEC teams really belong. But they got it done and they managed to get there. And now with that conference championship in the way, they can kind of relax a little bit, kind kind of got themselves a spot secured. But these conference championships are going to be interesting as we go on to see whether or not they're going to cost teams a spot or they're going to vault teams into the playoff picture. I'm interested to see that. And Georgia Tech, man, that's just an unfortunate feeling for them. I saw there was a clip of Coach Brent Keefe staring at the scoreboard for almost over a minute, just soaking that in, doing the Stephon Diggs route of just soaking that in and living in the moment and feeling that pain and that defeat. And it's really been a different type of season for Georgia Tech. It's not the same Georgia Tech that we kind of known with that ground and pound triple option. They're a different team now, and Haynes King has been playing very well for them. And I think that series with that added, kind of ump from this year and Brent Key remembering that and locking that away, I think that this time next year, that's going to be, a humdinger of a game as well.
All right, let's come back to Columbia, Missouri, where Arkansas and the Tigers will meet at 2:30. We're here with you again the next 2.5 hours. Skeeter from Fort Smith texting in saying it's already snowing up there, expecting 2 to 4 inches before kickoff and temps to stay at freezing. As I pull up my Apple weather app, Skeeter is exactly right. Again, there is snow on the ground in Columbia, Missouri. Curious to see who that affects more, the Arkansas Razorbacks or the Missouri Tigers. You can always call or text us again throughout the program today at 877-377-6963. Inclement weather we knew was going to have some impact on this game today, Colton. Now it's just a matter of how or which team performs better. And listen, it's not warm by any stretch of the imagination in Fayetteville right now, but there hasn't been snow. They are on ground in campus. Right now in Fayetteville, it's 39. Columbia, it's 28. So this is definitely going to be an obstacle for this Arkansas offense and the defense today when they take on the Tigers.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and get this out of the way right now. Ty, as you watched your Packers on Thursday night just look like a strong, resilient team out there in the cold against my Dolphins, who look like a bunch of sad, whatever you want to fill in. They didn't look like they were very soft. That's the exact thing. You don't want to look like that today if you're an Arkansas Razorback. You want to come in with the toughness today to realize that, hey, you're cold. The guy standing next to you is cold. The guy across from you is cold. Everybody's cold. So guess what? We can all be cold together. What did Jameis Winston say just a couple weeks ago playing in the snow? The horses are prepared for battle. So just be thankful to be able to have this snow day today. I think that Campbell and Slaughter talked a little bit about that this week and their excitement about just getting the opportunity to play in snow regardless. It's not the most common thing in the world, so when you get to do it, you do relish in that excitement. So hopefully that excitement kind of overflows into their execution today and their performance, and they have that mental edge of just staying resilient and not letting the cold be act as a 12th defender or a 12th person on offense, and letting that lose the game for them or cause a fumble. I think today with that weather, I think we're going to see the ball not on the ground, fumble, hopefully not, but we're going to see a rushing attack probably today from both sides. Just as that ball's in the air, trying to establish dominance early with the cold, get that mental edge first, and then the physical edge should hopefully follow with it. But man, I wouldn't want to be out there, Ty. Tell you that right now.
You mentioned one of the NFL games that we've seen the last couple days. Packers defeat the Dolphins 30-17. Jordan Love with the solid game. Tua started to play better in the second half, but it's just too late. Chiefs get another close win, 19-17. Fumble late for the Raiders, a chance to win. The Dallas Cowboys get a victory, 27-20. And then, inexplicably, the Chicago Bears with the chance to tie the game, they lose 23-20. Matt Eberflus, or Plus, however you say his name's fired. Bruce in Nashville texted in about that. As an NFL coach, you would think he would take some accountability after the game, like he's done all season. He avoided it and was subsequently fired the following day. The Chicago Bears are a poverty franchise. They've been that way for quite some time. If you're a Bears fan like several of my friends are, I feel bad for you because you're such a diehard, and yet your organization and a lot of time your head coaches just put you in horrendous situations like they did yesterday. Caleb Williams didn't help himself 2 days ago either by how long he prolonged that play, but my goodness gracious, what a disgraceful ending for the Chicago Bears, and the Lions keep on winning. Congrats to Dan Campbell again.
I was watching that game with my father-in-law, who is a Chicago native, was born in, not born in, but lived in Chicago for a long time, loves the Bears, and he was bewildered about the fact that he had a timeout in his pocket, he didn't call it, and that Caleb Williams seemed to be the only person with the Chicago Bear insignia on his body that knew that there was a timeout and no time, and time was winding down, they weren't using, and he had to do something. And while he didn't execute early on in that drive and got sacked, he's a young player and he's made a lot of money and notoriety to this point, being that type of play extender and being an agile athlete and extending plays and having that type of versatility. But in the NFL, man, you got to get rid of it, and he had to make a play in the decision. But like you said, Ty, Eberflus took no accountability. He took no accountability for the entire season. Just earlier, just a couple weeks ago, whenever they had the debacle against Washington, and they let that Hail Mary go, and then there was a play before that, before a fluky Hail Mary play that was just so poorly executed defensively, because they're in a terrible prevent defense with nothing at all, and he didn't answer for it. He just said, "Oh, that wasn't the play that cost us the game. It's obviously the Hail Mary." But Jalen Daniels can't throw the ball 90 yards, which is where he would have had to make it to from the play before, but you gave up a huge chunk play. And what does he say? Well, that's not that big of it. It's not that important, but it is. And this is the first time the Bears have fired their head coach in the season, and I think it was hundreds of years. So that they're a serious, they're a serious franchise. But it's just unfortunate they have not had the success that is definitely owed to them for all the diehard fans that they have, man. And Caleb Williams can be good, but he needs some help.
He does. All right, we're going to take a break here on Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer's Sunrooms. I also want to congratulate, I saw this last night, for those listening in Northwest Arkansas and really North Central, because I know we got a lot of connections there. Tommy Tice in Farmington come back against Lakeside last night in an unbelievable finish. So congrats to the Cardinals. Tice comes out of retirement and is kicking butt. We love Coach Tice here on ESPN Arkansas. I want to congratulate them as they are going. Are they in the semis or the championship?
I think they're in the championship now.
Okay,
yeah, I think all the games are in the championship.
Tommy's more the high school guy. I know some classifications again separated by weekends, but congratulations to the Farmington Cardinals as they advance past Hot Springs Lakeside last night. We're going to take a break here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Again, we're always brought to you on Arkansas Game Day by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, locally owned and operated by a family of U of A alumni. A great place. I know I've gotten stuff there the past few weeks. It is a fantastic place to get incredible Christmas gifts. So take advantage of the #1 Razorback store in all of Arkansas and south of the North Pole, of course. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Visit their website at shoponrazorback.com. That's SHOPPE on Razorback.com. And by Sawyer's Sunrooms. Sawyer's for everything outside the house. Sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. Visit them online at Sawyers-Sunrooms.com. More Arkansas Game Day when we return.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at Sawyers-Sunrooms.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Arkansas Game Day. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Richardson. We are live here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC doing Arkansas Game Day and talking to our guy, Brent. Brent, it's the Black Friday sale. Now, Black Friday's yesterday. Y'all still got deals.
Yeah, till the end of the month. That ends today. Come by and see us. Sales tax paid on all pre-owns. 300 plus cars to choose from. Come by and see me.
Yep, it's a great place to come by and get your new vehicle right into 2025. You don't have to worry about payments till 2025 either.
Yeah, 60 days till your first payment and no sales tax. So if you're worried about getting some Christmas presents, you don't have to, and you can get your new car.
That's unbelievable. Again, over 500 vehicles to choose from. Brent's got your inventory here. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Always online at harryrobinson.com. It is the Black Friday sale going on through tomorrow. Come by and see us.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911. In addition to AOG, remember, if you smell gas, act fast. And always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I know there's a lot of people that don't like me. They made sure to tell me about it when I was in the stadium.
Talon Green. Talon forced to run inside the 40, first down at the 35.
Talon Green.
Inside the 30 to the 20, cuts outside of the 10.
It is a difficult state to pronounce.
Talon Green.
5, touchdown Arkansas. No flags.
I may mispronounce his name, but Talon Green.
41 yards and a score for Talon Green.
Just based off reading my Twitter mentions, I'd say it's pretty strong.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day. It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Talon Green.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Well, just in case you didn't hear all of that. All right, one more time.
I may mispronounce his name, but Talon Green.
That's Eli Drinkwitz, Missouri head coach. Arkansas does not have a good record of him since he arrived in Columbia. Maybe that changes today. Maybe you get your first ever win in Faurot Field, and maybe you shut him up, particularly Talon Green shuts him up today. What do you think about that? 877-377-6963. Colton, you've yet to really get on that. You made that regional. Great job, by the way, but you haven't necessarily given your opinion about Coach Drink having that to say about Arkansas starting quarterback this week.
Well, it's very obvious that he's just an instigator and, the kid, that's just, jumping up and down, trying to look over everybody's shoulders to look at the game. He's left out and insecure, and that's fine, and I get that. But the thing is, though, he's also proven to be a very good football coach as well. So you really can't knock that. And, occasionally I wouldn't mind, not necessarily if our coach gave bulletin board material, but if our, that our coaches show a little bit of, fire and pizzazz every now and then. So I don't mind it. I do like the fact that this is adding fuel to this forced rivalry now. It kind of makes me hate these guys just a little bit more. And so I'm sure the team feels that way. So it's all calculated and very, very good. But like you said, Ty, I hope that Talon shuts him up.
Well, here's the thing about that, because we had that response a couple times this week. Though, why didn't Coach Pittman say anything? Well, Coach Pittman, for the most part, is pretty reserved when talking about opposing teams, opposing coaches, opposing players.
It's classic.
And I'll honestly, I'll commend him for that, because there would be times that I would be ticked off before a game. Now, after the game, if he wants to say a little something to whoever's on the SEC network sidelines or talking to the guys in the booth or whatever, he's more than welcome to do that. And I think Arkansas fans would be a fan of that, considering what Drink has not just said this week, but several times when it comes to this rivalry game. But that's just not his personality. We've seen it showcase itself with Drink a couple times. A couple texts in here. Ryan in Prairie Grove says, bleep him, Ty. Bruce in Nashville says, I'd like to see Sam Pittman slap Eli Drinkowitz. And Austin from Scott County says, I heard Eli likes mayonnaise on his hot dogs. Now, that is something I would not be surprised at all. I would not be surprised at all if my dad actually does that, because he loves mayonnaise. I've never heard him put mayonnaise or seen him put mayonnaise on a hot dog, but would not be surprised at all if he ended up doing that. But that is the game, 2:30 later on today. Again, pregame coverage leading you up to that live from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Colton, one thing we haven't discussed in the first 20 minutes of Arkansas Game Day is the Hogs go down in Kansas City to the Fighting Illini. Brad Underwood and company get a big-time win. I'm going to speak on this on Monday as well, but I might as well just lay it out here. We've talked before, and I know you've been frustrated as an Arkansas fan at times because you feel like other programs in the Southeastern Conference live off brand reputation, whether they're ranked higher above you, whether they get a better television slot above you. The only reason that Arkansas basketball is ranked right now is because of Brand and John Calipari. This is not a ranked basketball team, in my opinion. And the two games that they played against actually stiff competition away from home, they didn't look good. And so we saw on Thursday, unfortunately, a basketball team that couldn't defend, that took basically a half to start knocking down threes, and a team that just got outmatched at times against a good, not a great, a good Illinois squad. And SEC play, again, a long way from now. You still got a month, basically, but a team that just is out of sync. John L. Davis, still waiting for him to really go off for 20-plus points. Did not have his best showing, even though he looked good in the game before that. But this team, with some games like Miami and Michigan coming up, they better wake up, because they're going to need these non-conference wins for their resume if they want a higher seed in the NCAA tournament coming up.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When it comes down to it, it's not just the show for, I get my guys on TV, and we get the Razorback fans get to watch these games on holidays and in big stages and cool arenas with all the flair and production value. It's also important for the tournament. It's a difference between having to play a really, really hot 12-seed team out of the MEAC or having to play in a team maybe you match up with a little bit better. It's very important that they have these non-conference games that they take advantage of. And Ty, last year during the whole basketball season, I had said to myself, especially early on, let's see these guys get healthy. Let's just see it's brand new team. Let's let them gel. And that obviously did not work out. They flashed a little stat, like they always do, across the screen at the very beginning of the game on Thursday, and it was about how Illinois had a bunch of experience last year. They had a team that had played together for a long time, a bunch of experienced players, and this year they didn't. And I said, well, that's probably going to play into our advantage today. And it didn't at all. It didn't matter. And so the Razorbacks are kind of in the same boat. It's not a patchwork team, but it's put together not haphazardly, but quickly, to say the very least, and with whatever pieces they could find. And those pieces still are lots of talent. They just have not come together yet. It's still lots of five fingers trying to poke a full chest instead of a fist. And I don't know if it'll ever actually get to a fist. I wasn't necessarily thinking that the Calipari philosophy of basketball the past decade has been obviously the most successful, so wasn't really gung-ho about the hire in the first place, but I do know that he is a heck of a coach, and he's going to get a heck of a caliber of basketball player in here. What you hope that he can do is get those guys to figure out a way to play together and maximize everybody's best skill set, because you said it. Illinois came into the game, and they were good, not great. Now, they shot great, better than they have all season, which is par for the course for when you play the Arkansas Razorbacks. But at the same time, you can't leave a guy that's already made 2 threes in 5 minutes open. You can't leave a guy that's already made 4 threes on the day open in the second half. You eventually have to keep going. And now that early stretch where we got down, I think it was 11 or 14 points in the very beginning of the game, within the first 5 minutes, you obviously were never able to recover from that, because from, the second half on, you basically traded buckets the whole time down. So if you're able to come in with a better mindset to start, maybe you could have had a better game. But Ty, there is definitely some holes they have to clean up. You definitely want to see these guys that are making a lot of money now playing for the University of Arkansas be worth that paycheck. And you want to see them come to fruition and, be able to have these great games that we're going to have in Bud Walton Arena. You want to make it worthwhile, and you want to make it exciting, and you don't want to have a repeat of last year. Calipari has great players on his team. You got to make sure that you can, get those guys to play as a team. Otherwise, we'll be looking, it'll be like watching the same thing we saw last year, stepping back into a time capsule.
What do you think? 877-377-6963 as we continue on today's program. We'll talk more Arkansas basketball, but of course we got a lot to discuss when it comes to Arkansas, Missouri, and Columbia, Missouri. So we'll take a short break here. Chris Gordy is going to join us when he comes back, or when we come back. Chris does sports radio in Houston, does the SEC Locked On podcast, and we'll get his thoughts on not only what happened in Athens last night, games later on today, but maybe some matchups with the Tigers and the Razorbacks. He joins us on the other side.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house. Arkansas Game Day.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Tom Richardson checking back in. We're at Harry Robinson Buick GMC doing a little Arkansas Game Day and talking some deals here. Like up to $10,000 off 2024 GMC Sierras. I just saw Mike walk by. He's smiling about that. It's one all the sales member teams are happy about that because it's an incredible truck. And again, up to $10,000 off. Or there's an or on this. Or you can take up to $7,000 off and get 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras. Now, that's on your new vehicles. On the pre-owns, they're all state sales tax paid, taking care of you through December the 2nd here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. So come on by and see us. We are at Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. You can always find us online at harryrobinson.com. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, where you always get more for your trade.
The Neumeier family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Neumeier's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Neumeier family.
Unto us a child is given, and his name shall be Wonderful, Counselor, Emmanuel, God with us. Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. From all of our families here at Blaylock, we would like to wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
We're here to play football. I'm here to fight.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Green's going to throw on first down. Steps up into the end zone. Wants Tesla. Complete. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
Cut off, run, pass, doesn't matter, but just make them one-dimensional, and we can take it from there.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
I think 7-5, 4-4 in the league, and beating, a top 25 team, a top 5 team. I think that would really help us in recruiting and recruiting through the portal.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Chris Gordy is the program director of Sports Talk 79 in Houston. Does a daily radio show, also does a Locked On SEC podcast. He's an LSU alum. We're not going to hold that against him. Chris, welcome in, man. How about that game in Athens last night? Didn't expect it. 8 overtimes. Georgia comes out on top. What'd you take away from last night?
Well, as the host of Locked On SEC, I felt like the conference's pride was on the line. I mean, my God, the number of people who were tweeting out, the SEC stinks, the SEC's awful, they don't deserve to get any teams. And I'm like, all right, Georgia, do us a solid, at least win this one so we can at least guarantee one team is in the playoff. I mean, it went a little overboard last night to hating on the SEC, but nonetheless, big win for Georgia. Now I think, they're in a spot where even if they, say play a close game against Texas or Texas A&M next week in the SEC title game, and even if they slip up, I think they've earned a spot. So we'll see how many SEC teams get in, but man, that was hairy last night.
Yeah, it was quite eventful. I'm glad it happened. I'm going to be honest, Chris. I didn't really care about SEC pride last night. I was hoping that Georgia Tech would pull it off. I kind of like Brent Key, and yet they came up just short. So in terms of the SEC, man, looking at today, what game's the most intriguing for you?
Well, first off, I do want to say, you mentioned LSU, and I've had multiple friends who are LSU alums texting me today going, can we please get back to playing Arkansas this week? Like the whole thing of calling it rivalry week and all this, and I get it's kind of becoming a little bit of a rivalry again between Arkansas and Mizzou, but like for LSU, like it was Black Friday was known for Arkansas LSU, and it was a fun rivalry that was, went different ways all throughout the years, and for all the talk of it being rivalry week and LSU's playing Oklahoma, I mean, it's a little bit of a weird, dud. So, but nonetheless, that one should be entertaining tonight. Obviously, not much on the line there, but in terms of compelling, I mean, right up the road here for me in College Station, it's Texas versus Texas A&M. It's a game that before the season, I picked the Aggies to win because I said they're going to treat that game like it's their Super Bowl. And I said, that's whether the Aggies have 5 wins, 7 wins, whatever. Well, it turns out they're 8-3, and they're actually, ahead of schedule. They're way better than Mike Elko, than we expected from Mike Elko in year one. So, crazy that a trip to Atlanta is on the line here. But I don't know, man. I've been holding firm with my pick all week with the Aggies because I just think College Station is going to be rocking. Kyle Field is going to be electric. And, let's be real. Texas has not really been tested yet. I mean, you guys saw them against Arkansas a couple of weeks ago and needed the fourth quarter to pull away. They got out of Vanderbilt with a 3-point win. I was in Austin last week, watched them in person against Kentucky, and every moment of that game felt like, oh, here they go. This is where they pull away. And then Quinn Ewers throws a pick 6, and suddenly Kentucky's back in the game. And it's like, man, I just don't know about this Texas team. Quinn Ewers has not, just absolutely crushed the opposition this year. And I have big questions of him going into tonight with the bum ankle. And if he's slowed down at all, man, I wonder, will they give Quinn or Arch Manning a look if he struggles at all?
Yeah, I know that has been wild, rampant speculation in the last 24 to 48 hours is like, what is Steve Sarkisian going to do with this quarterback situation? Something to watch tonight. So let me ask you this, Chris, on that Arkansas-LSU thing. Arkansas fans do not look at Missouri rival. I know what Sam Pittman said this week, but there's no way that like Arkansas and LSU could come together and be like, yo, we want to play this game. Let's move Missouri. Like, why not play Missouri and Oklahoma at the end of the year? Because that's an actual rivalry. And I know they have the Battle Line Trophy, but can you just do a quick swap? Wouldn't that work?
I'm with you. I mean, it just seems like so often that some of these rivalries, like the SEC looks out for the top rivalries to preserve them, right? I mean, it's like, all right, well, we got to protect Georgia and Auburn. We got to protect Auburn and Alabama and all this. And then it's like all the other teams left over, they go, all right, well, you just get the scraps. My wife's a Kentucky alum. And for years they had Mississippi State as their permanent rival. She's like, there's no rivalry there, or South Carolina. I mean, like it's these like manufactured rivalries that you just have to kind of make up. But I'm with you. I think both LSU and Arkansas should go to the league office and say, hey, we'd like to play this game. Revive this rivalry at the end of the season because it just feels weird. I mean, again, we'll see what Arkansas can do today. Mizzou fans love to kind of peacock with this rivalry and kind of make it into something. But I'm with you. It just feels weird Black Friday not having LSU and Arkansas.
Well, the game that Arkansas does play today, Chris, I don't know if you've seen the weather, but it's already snowing in Columbia right now. It's coming down, probably going to be 2 to 4 inches, it looks like, for game time. Who does that impact more later on today?
Well, it's interesting. I was diving into the numbers, and I was actually surprised. Arkansas has been, like, if you look at the numbers, obviously been one of the better run teams all year. And then Arkansas was actually a little bit better against the run than I remembered. Just kind of look at the numbers this morning. And so, obviously we know they've struggled against the pass. Those numbers are highly skewed because of that Ole Miss game. But, I do think Missouri, Brady Cook has not been great. Luther Burden is going to be playing, likely his last college game. I would assume he's going to opt out of the bowl game, being a top draft pick. But, we'll see. If Brady Cook has time to throw, then, maybe they can attack Arkansas through the air. But, to your point, if the weather is a factor here and it becomes a grounded town game, I think it's advantage Arkansas. I know Missouri, has run the football pretty well. Nate Noel and Marcus Carroll. They have another freshman running back that they really like as well. But to me, if it becomes, a grounded pound, grind it out type game and run the clock.
Then a clouded dust.
Again, I think that's
cloud of
Arkansas.
snow. Yeah, instead of 3 yards in a cloud of dust, Chris, it's 3 yards in 3 yards in a cloud of snow. Again, Chris Gordy is our guest here this morning. Sports Talk 790 in Houston, host of the Locked On SEC podcast. Chris, how many SEC teams do you think are squarely in the college football playoff right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a set number. I mean, I think we all kind of predict that it'll be 3, right? I mean, I think we think that the SEC champ is going to be a lock for a top 4 seed, but that still isn't completely locked down because there's a world where if Texas A&M beats Texas this weekend, A&M is 20th. If they beat number 3 Texas, they'll probably jump up to maybe, 12th or 13th. And then if they beat Georgia in the SEC championship game, how much does A&M move up? You're talking about then a 3-loss, A&M or SEC champion in A&M. Are they a lock for a top 4 seed? Probably, because of the 2 teams that they would have beaten to get there, but it's not a lock when you've seen some of these teams like, Boise projected as a top 4 seed, and, we'll see what happens with the Big 12 champ. But, I would assume, okay, the SEC champ is in. In that scenario, if A&M were to win out, I think some people said even if Georgia loses the SEC championship game at this point, that they would be in as a 3-loss team. I think if Texas loses tonight, they're still in as a large 10-2 team. Yep. And I think if Tennessee beats Vanderbilt, they're in. So I think that's the only scenario right now where the SEC gets 4 teams in. But I think the chalk is probably 3. Let's just assume Texas wins tonight. The winner of Texas-Georgia in the SEC title game is in. The loser is probably in. And then, it's all about Tennessee beating Vandy tonight. I still think, there's an outside chance for South Carolina or Alabama, but I think those are – I just don't see the scenarios falling in line for either of those teams to get in. So I think it's 3, but, again, the way people are talking down about the SEC, I mean, it's almost like people are saying they'll be lucky to have 2 teams in.
So, Chris, on that note, I think the argument is being made right now, playing out that hey, SEC should move to 9 games, because if it's this cannibalistic in 8 games, what do you think it's going to be like in 9 SEC games? So if you're Greg Sankey and you're watching the conference beat up on each other, I mean, where's the argument to go to 9 outside of money? Because I don't see it.
Well, the thing you said outside of is the thing that moves everything. It's all about money.
Moves the needle. Yeah, fair.
That's the deal. I mean, it's look at the ratings of the success that the SEC on ABC has had in year 1. I mean, it's amazing. Quick raise of hands. Raise your hand if anybody has watched more than one CBS, a Big Ten on CBS game this year. I've not watched one. I mean, it's been a total.
Nope, you're right.
It's been a total joke for the CBS and just an absolutely awful business decision. And for the SEC and the ABC, I mean, it feels like every week, guys, we've had the triple header. We've had the morning, the afternoon, and the night game, all SEC on SEC on ABC. So it's been a lot of fun for fans to watch, and I'm with you. Like, but I said this at the beginning, Ty. Like, when we talk conference expansion, when you talk about the bottom of the SEC and the Vanderbilts and the South Carolinas and those kind of teams, like I said, if you want to expand, invite those kind of teams in. You add 2 behemoths like Texas and Oklahoma, you get what you deserve. I mean, you're adding more parity to the league and more top dogs, and it's more losses on the schedule for people and more potential upsets. And so that's what makes this thing so difficult is, I mean, you go to 9 conference games, yes, you were talking about more cannibalism moving forward and the SEC upsetting its own. But to me, that speaks to how deep the conference was this year. I mean, the talent level was there, and from top to bottom that anybody could beat anybody on any given day outside of Mississippi State. To me, that speaks to the stronger conference. What's not a good conference is the Big Ten, when you got 3 behemoths at the top and everybody else stinks. Like, that's not a good conference. And that's kind of what the SEC was for years, with Alabama and Georgia just dominating everybody.
And I would argue it's just 2, Ohio State and Oregon. I don't know if I'd lump Penn State or Indiana or anyone else in that category. So I agree with you there. Chris, before we let you go, I got to ask about the temperature of Brian Kelly. Now, I guess the better question would be after today's game, if they were to lose to Oklahoma. But, I mean, what are the vibes in Baton Rouge like now? I mean, at the highest ceiling they could get is 8 regular season wins. If they lose today, they go 7-5. I mean, people aren't happy about that. What's the vibes in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I mean, look, fans are overreactionary. I mean, I think when you stop and look back at it, I mean, obviously – Florida beating, the loss at Florida is the one everybody got up in arms about. And then the next week they beat Ole Miss, and it was like, all right, well, maybe that Florida team was just kind of clicking on all cylinders at the right time. I think you take a step back and you look at it. I mean, the guy's 27-11 in his 3 years at LSU so far, 16-7 in the conference. The only people that have better records than that in the conference, I mean, is Nick Saban. He's retired. Kirby Smart, Sark, and then maybe I think Josh Heupel he's tied with. I mean, you're literally talking about the third or fourth best coach in the SEC. I mean, for all the LSU fans who want to poo-poo him, like, that's still pretty damn strong. I mean, he's a better coach than, no offense, but Sam Pittman. I think, we could still make a case he's a better coach than than Eli Drinkwitz. I think, he's right there with, you want to debate Lane Kiffin. Okay, we can debate that. But, I mean, the guy did win the SEC West his first year there. So, look, it's got to start trending in the right direction. I mean, by year 4, all of Nick Saban, Les Miles, and Ed Orgeron had all won a national championship by year 4. So I think the expectations raised big time for him next year. But, look, the rumors are right now that Garrett Nussmeier may come back next year. The right tackle, Emory Jones, may come back. Harold Perkins apparently is on the fence about coming back. So if he gets all those guys to come back next year with a top 5 recruiting class that he's about to sign next week, I think the arrow's pointed upward for LSU. But you're right. I mean, results matter, and it's all about vibes. And, 4 or 5 loss season in year 3 is not what people are feeling. But I'm not ready to throw him under the bus and say fire him. I mean, $61 million buyout. We're about to start paying players here. You're not going to pay a coach $61 million to go away.
No, that's true. Chris, we'll leave it there, man. Appreciate you hopping on with us this morning, and we got a wild SEC slate today. Hopefully it's as fun as what we saw last night in Athens.
Yeah, please go beat Eli Drinkwitz today. Please just do that for me. Thank you.
You got it. That is Chris Gordy, program director and on air at Sports Talk 790 in Houston and host of Locked On SEC podcast. We're going to take a break. It is Arkansas Game Day, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer's Sunrooms.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it?
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shops here at the Stadium Shop. Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side. Nope, I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right? Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess, a couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, the interfacegram WW. I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Ho, ho, ho.
Arkansas Game Day.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Great day here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Come on by and see us at XC11 I-540 in Fort Smith. We're doing a little Arkansas Game Day, and we're telling you about what's going on here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. State sales tax paid on every single one of their pre-owned vehicles. But let's talk about these Buick Encores for a sec. 2024s, you're going to get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing. This is a great SUV. And again, up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing. Come experience it for yourself. Great day to come test drive some vehicles here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. State sales tax paid on all their pre-owns, and again, a lot of incentives on their new vehicles as well. Come on by and see us, Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith, where you always get more for your trade.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Aaron, what's going on this month?
We have new Polaris units on our lot, such as the Ranger XD 1500, the Sportsman 6x6, and the Razor Pro S. We have discounts here for the 2024 Polarises that have up to $6,000 off the original price. If you guys have any questions, call me or text me at 479-783-5822.
Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3001 0 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
The best things never change, they just get better. Like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Choose from juicy charbroiled double cheeseburgers, melty hot ham and cheeses, or hand-breaded chicken tender wraps. 2 full-size favorites plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. There's no skimping in this bag. No junior burgers or tiny nuggies, just full-size goodness for big-time value. The $6.99 Original Bag, only at Hardee's. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Green going to give it to Jackson, right side, outside the numbers, at the 10, to the 5, touchdown Arkansas.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
I'm going to fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
I kind of like the rivalry we got with Arkansas. I mean, I don't remember the last time they beat us. Kind of like that one, and the Battle Line rivalry. I mean, it's pretty good for us.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
So what do you think about that idea that Chris and I just proposed on air? 877-377-6963. Just put it out on social media, and it's got overwhelming support. And I think LSU fans, cold and favorite. If you missed our conversation with Chris Gordy, kind of just thought about this in real time. Switch the Missouri and Oklahoma game and the Arkansas and LSU game for this weekend. So the bigger rivalry for Missouri and Oklahoma is Missouri and Oklahoma. The bigger rivalry for Arkansas and LSU is those two teams going at it. Why not just put those at the end of the year? Is there any pushback to that, Colton?
No, not for me. It makes more natural sense. Growing up, the one of the biggest parts of, the foundation of my love for the Razorbacks was Black Fridays against LSU. I mean, that was one of the biggest things. It was important to me, and I remember have many fond memories of that. So I'm all in favor of it. I don't like Missouri, obviously because they have our number, but at the same time, I think that Missouri and Oklahoma, it's a more natural rival. I think that they've had history going back into the Big 8 conferences and Big 12 and things like that. So they have more history there as we do with LSU. So I think that it makes more sense for them. And then, it doesn't make really hardly any sense at all for LSU to be playing Oklahoma this week. That just doesn't really add up to me in my mind. I don't know of a lot of great deal of history between those two teams. So that doesn't make sense. And I think that a nice little swapperooski would probably be a good idea, Ty. I appreciate you and commend you for taking the charge on that today.
Yeah, I think that based on the feedback that we've gotten from both parties, because it is important that you have a little bit of both, but from the LSU and Arkansas side, maybe we asked Greg Sankey that about SEC Media Days. I think the schedule will already be set up. Casey and Lincoln's always been the battle of the boot for him. As a guy that grew up going to that game at War Memorial, I was the same way when it came to that rivalry. I don't know. So we talked about there's two SEC games that got played yesterday. We only really talked about the one in Athens, Georgia. And I say SEC games. One featured an SEC team. One was a rivalry game in the conference. Skeeter and Fort Smith texted in talking about Lane Kiffin as Mississippi State gives Ole Miss somewhat of a game last night in the Egg Bowl as they fall 26-14. Defense did enough. Offense just didn't have it. Text from Skeeter said, Lane is the most overrated coach in college football. What has he won? He has done a worse job this year with the talent and schedule that Jimbo ever did with Texas A&M. So they finished their season 9-3. Still an outside shot making the college football playoff, but I don't anticipate that, Colton. I expect Tennessee Tennessee, Texas, and Georgia to be the representatives from the SEC, and maybe one other squad gets in. Could be South Carolina if they beat Clemson today, because they would have the biggest win on the schedule today, barring an A&M win over Texas. But, yeah, I think Ole Miss fans are disappointed with how their season not ended per se, because they did win against their arch rival, but did not expect to see a 9-3 on their schedule at the end of the year.
Well, Skeeter is technically wrong because Lane has won the offseason championship almost every year he's been the coach there. So, I mean, they get those, and that's about it. It's definitely a letdown season for them. Ty, to your point, Tennessee, Texas, Georgia, those are the only teams that deserve it. They don't have it. They have the least amount of stumbles, and that's what you got to do. You can't stumble.
Yeah, and Arkansas beat one of them and played the other one pretty tough. So that's what you can hold on. You can hold on to that if you want to. I like how Chris ended the interview. Please beat Drinkwitz. I hope they do. We'll talk more about the Arkansas-Missouri game coming up in hour 2. Also, SEC Mike is going to join us at 10:30. A lot to discuss. We roll on Arkansas Game Day live from the Stadium Shop on Razorback, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer Sunrooms, coming up next.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. You've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Arkansas Game Day.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Ty Richardson checking in. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, Exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. Black Friday still. Harrison, not only just going on today, not going on tomorrow, but through the second, man, you guys continue on with the state sales tax paid, no payments to 2025, and a lot of incentives on new vehicles, too.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. We've got over 300 pre-owned vehicles out here that we're paying state sales tax on. So cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, there's lifted stuff out here, and we're paying state sales tax on all of it. And then also, like you said, on the new side, I've got everything in all my models right now. So Buick, GMC, I've got Hummers, I've got Yukons, hard to find 3/4 ton diesels, and then if you're looking for a small payment, I've got the new Buick Envista out here. I mean, those right now are as low as like $400 a month. So if you're looking for a new vehicle as well, I've got them.
Now, Harrison is the guy to come see today. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, Exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith, where you always get more for your trade.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Mark your calendars for Saturday, December 7th to join your local Jaeger Ace Hardware for their Christmas extravaganza. Bring your kids out to enjoy holiday crafts, a themed scavenger hunt, treats and drinks, while the adults take advantage of doorbuster deals, door prizes, and product demos. Make sure to be early because the first 200 customers receive a free holiday mug, Ace reusable tote, and 20% off everything that fits in the bag. Visit JagersHardware.com or stop by the store for more information. Now open in Barling.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. Join me, Phil, and Dr. Charles Liggett every Monday at 12:15 for my favorite segment, 3 Up, 3 Down.
Man, that early slate of games, a lot of good games. Phil, congrats to Pittsburgh.
3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. Visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give them a call at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
I know there's a lot of people that don't like me. They made sure to tell me about it when I was in the stadium last year.
Visit their website at shoponrazorback.com with the largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole. It doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
Green, though, is going to throw on first down, corner route, Tesla, caught at the goal line, touchdown, Arkansas.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
I got that wood.
Sawyer's, been in business since 1990, locally owned and operated.
Last year, we took it to the chin and, taking the game personal. So my brother's taking it personal, it's personal to me.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
I want to say the coldest game that I played in when we played, not Missouri, but Ole Miss here a couple years ago. It was about 24 degrees. I'm from Georgia. He's from Georgia, too. So I'm really used to no snow like that, man. It's just going to be another thing of adversity that we got to deal with. It's not a bad thing. Me personally, I'm going to have fun in it. After we win, I'm going to roll around and make snow angels.
That's Cam Ball on Sam Pittman Live earlier this week talking about the weather that Arkansas is going to face today. If you haven't seen this already, it has been snowing in Columbia for a little bit. Expecting 2 to 4 inches later on today. That will play an impact when Arkansas takes on the Tigers. It's Arkansas Game Day. We're live at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, X11 I-540 in Fort Smith. Always presented Arkansas Game Day by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, locally owned and operated by a family of U of A alumni. Robert, Elizabeth, Matthew, their entire team will help take care of you this holiday season. They've got everything you need. You can always stop by and see them right by Baum Walker Stadium or visit their website at shoponrazorback.com and by Sawyer's Sunrooms. Sawyer's for everything outside the house, sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. Visit Buzz and his team online at sawyers-sunrooms.com. All right, so we get going here in hour number 2. I know a lot has been made of Eli Drinkwitz the last few days. If you haven't heard this little clip.
I may mispronounce his name, but Talon Green.
That's the big storyline heading into the game. That was unprovoked. He just kind of did that off the cuff, and now Colton will see if Talon Green takes being called out personally and he goes out of his mind today, or if they lose again in Columbia like they have every other time.
Well, I sure hope Talon has just had this on repeat all week. And at least if I know he's heard it, and he's definitely kept it. If not on repeat all week, I know that he's using it for a little extra juice this week. And I think that that's the type of thing that maybe he needs to get going. Hopefully that he can turn this into something where he has a great day, an efficient day where he looks good, and that the offense doesn't look like or seem like or feel like it's being held back by his performance, which at times this season it has. And so I think that Talon Green, all the potential we've seen him have this year as an athlete running the ball, and then occasionally flashes here and there where he stood tall in the pocket and thrown. You hope that all that can culminate today in Missouri in the snow and they can win the game. But I do think that today it's going to be really focused on running the ball. I don't know that the weather conditions are going to allow for Talon to throw for 400 yards like we've seen him do a couple times this season, or really, get a chance to spread the ball out too much. If it's not actively snowing, they might just say go for it and throw it and just, say, hey, have some fun with it. But I do think that today Talon uses that for a little extra juice, and hopefully his team wants to, protect him and, play for him as well. This is a guy that's led them all season. He's shown a lot of fight, a lot of grit, trying to stay in the game when he's been limping around. So I know that hopefully the players have his back today and they rise to the occasion as well.
And you just think about the vantage point of saying you're 7-5, potentially 8-5 versus 6-6.
Mm-hmm.
That includes a 4-4 SEC conference record if you finish 7-5. That just sounds so much better heading into the offseason. If you could say, yeah, we finished with 8 wins, especially winning for you double what you had last year. Is that the end-all, be-all? Is that like, should we throw a party and hoopla after a season like that? No, but that's marked improvement. And I think you'd have to be a little more confident heading into next season if they were able to accomplish that. But if they lose this game later on today, which, just to be frank, I expect them to. I haven't felt good about this game, and I hope my gut's wrong. Then you're just sitting there at 6-6. Yes, you improved from last season, but that's not saying much. You had 4 wins last year. So for this team to end on a high note would be big, and then you get a better opportunity at a better bowl game. Just a reminder, with the SEC teams going to the college football playoff, probably 3 at least, maybe get 4. That gives you a better opportunity for better bowl games. And if Arkansas was to win and beat out Missouri, again, you want to end your season as strong as you can. Like to get a marquee road win. Yes, you went on the road in Auburn earlier this season. You won in Starkville, but both those teams are just we saw Auburn. It's not always easy to win. Texas A&M found that out. But you could, again, end your season in a place you've never won before and against a top 25 opponent in the Missouri Tigers, Colton.
Yeah, it would definitely put a pretty bow on the season, and that's what you want. You dropped a game early this season that, looking back at it now after they got beat 52-0 yesterday, is just the sorriest thing I've ever seen. I was almost sick thinking about how big that game would have been early on in the season. So to steal another one today would be big, and I think that they can do it. This is a team that is not the same Missouri team as last year. They have shown flaws, and they have shown that they have weaknesses that I think the Razorbacks can expose. And I think that, Ty, it's just important today that for recruiting sake that you go out there and you be competitive and that you win and that you do everything that you can to show that this is a place that not only is good for kids coming out of high school, but college guys that need a second chance, college guys that need their first chance. I think that Danny West retweeted it today that there's that Danny Beal, the defensive lineman from Cherry Valley, that's pretty close to the Missouri border. I think he's going to be up there at the game today for Missouri watching the game. And that kid's from Arkansas, and he's a big defensive line recruit. And I know that the Razorbacks would love to have a big-time, another stud defensive lineman on the hill. And so that's what you need to win in the trenches. And so Coach Pittman's right. You win a game at Missouri in the snow, that makes a difference to kids. Coaches saying stupid things in press conferences, fans, being stupid on Twitter and, getting blocked or not blocked by the head coach. Recruits really don't matter. That doesn't really matter too much to them. What matters now is the money and who wins the game and, what the biggest brand is. And that's what's important to them. So Coach Pittman is spot on here when he says that if we can go up there and win, it's going to be big for us in recruiting in the transfer portal. This is the difference between getting, a bunch of guys from maybe that are 2- and 3-star athlete kids from high school to maybe, flipping a 4-star here at the end of the season or something like that. So the Razorbacks have an opportunity here to continue to, climb themselves up out of the hole they dug themselves in last year, and they perennially found themselves in here in this past decade, or the better part of the last 7-8 years, and they can continue to move forward and be the program that every fan that watches this team wants them to be.
Other games today include Tennessee traveling to Nashville to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores. South Carolina goes to Death Valley to take on Clemson, Louisville, and Kentucky. Auburn and Alabama in the Iron Bowl also played at the same time as Arkansas and Missouri, Florida, and Florida State. Oklahoma goes to Death Valley, and then the big one, Texas and Texas A&M in College Station in the 12th man later on tonight. Which team, in your opinion, Colton, home team, and it's not really an upset, but who has the best chance to pull off a big upset today at home. Like Alabama, for example, is not a home favorite. It is a home favorite. Does A&M or Vanderbilt, you think, have the better chance to pull off the upset later on today?
I would definitely give it here to A&M. I think that playing at Kyle Field with 101,000 of those weirdos doing all the weird stuff they do, and Lassie barking at everybody, I think that that's definitely going to have an impact on Texas. They haven't been there in a long time, and this game is a long time coming. So all those fans are going to be screaming, and it's going to be an insane environment. And I really looking forward to this one. I don't know about. I think there were some questions earlier on about the health of Quinn Ewers. So if it's Arch Manning in there for Texas, it's going to be very interesting to see how the Golden Boy can handle what could possibly be a golden moment for Texas. And I don't really know that he's got that in him quite yet. But if it is Quinn Ewers, he's going to have to rise to the occasion and be the best version of him that we've really ever seen. Because I know Texas A&M is going to come into this game just possessed. And I think that it's going to be important that they win this game, because they can still find a way to finagle their way into a 12-team playoff somehow, some way, if all the cards fall right and all these dominoes, take effect. I think that maybe Texas A&M finds their way in. Texas is probably still in no matter what, but it's costing them a spot maybe in the SEC championship game, which I know that Sarkisian would be important for him. I'm sure that the SEC powers that be probably wouldn't mind one of the new schools they just brought in to have a little, nice pick-me-up, if you want to get into that. But I know that Texas A&M has definitely got the better environment suited for a big one tonight. I just don't know that Vanderbilt is going to be able to, do that to Tennessee. I think Tennessee's been really hot as of late, playing like the Tennessee they were supposed to be all season. Really, they just stumbled against us. And I think that really Vanderbilt doesn't really have much of a shot tonight. But A&M and Texas should be hopefully an all-timer down there in College Station.
Want to remind everyone that Darren McFadden is going to be at Choctaw Casino from 2:30 to 4 o'clock today. We've been promoting it throughout the week, so if you're in, and I say you're in the area, honestly, I know there's a lot of people that drive to come see him. So, again, Choctaw Casino in Pensacola, if you want to get a chance to take some pictures and also meet Darren McFadden at 2:30 later on today. We're going to take a break here. Again, we're live at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. It's Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer's Sunrooms. SEC Mike joins us at 10:30 in about 20 minutes from now. When we come back, we'll talk more SEC, and again, we'll talk a little Arkansas and Illinois as the Razorbacks fall in Kansas City. Arkansas Game Day rolls on next.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Arkansas Game Day.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Todd Richardson checking back in. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, X11 I-540 in Fort Smith. Roddy, you got state sales tax paid, over 300 vehicles on the lot, cars, trucks, SUVs. You guys got it all here.
You got that right, Todd. Look out there. We got over 300 used vehicles on the lot right now, waiting for you to come in here and save money. That could potentially be thousands of dollars. What a better time than right here at Christmas to be able to pocket that money and have a little nice Christmas. And oh, by the way, you don't have a payment to the end of January. So it's the best of all worlds. And as always, you always get more for your trade here at Harry Robinson.
One more time. No payments till when?
The end of January.
2025. That's a long time, a long way away. So come on by and see Rodney, whether it's a pre-owned vehicle, state sales tax paid, or one of his many new vehicles on the lot. He's got what you're looking for. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, Exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
I should say it?
Say what? Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time. Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop.
Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side.
Nope, I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right?
Sure. Believers do get more presents. Okay, so what did he get? Let me guess. A couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all. And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Fogg?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the interfacegram www.
I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com. Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Ho, ho, ho.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I know there's a lot of people that don't like me. They made sure to tell me about it when I was in the stadium. Talon Green.
Talon forced to run inside the 40, first down at the 35.
Talon Green.
Inside the 30 to the 20, cuts outside of the 10.
It is a difficult state to pronounce.
Talon Green.
5, touchdown Arkansas. No flags.
I may mispronounce his name, but Talon Green.
41 yards and a score for Talon Green.
Just based off reading my Twitter mentions, I'd say it's pretty strong.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day. It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Talon Green.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Hey, back here on Arkansas Game Day. Those were the comments of Eli Drinkwitz earlier this week talking about your starting quarterback. We'll see if the team plays hacked off, ticked off, and like they want to avenge something they felt like their QB was wrong this week, or if it's the same old story in Columbia, Missouri. Well, Colton, you brought it up a little earlier in the program, the Oklahoma State loss that Arkansas continues to look back on as they finish their season 3-9. Oklahoma State got routed yesterday by Colorado 52-0. 52-0 in Boulder. They finished 3-9 in the season. Again, that's the worst season under Mike Gundy in Arkansas fell earlier this year. Travis Hunter, though, he won the Heisman Trophy yesterday.
stat padding in the fourth quarter when you're already up against a really bad team, you think that wins you the Heisman? I personally don't. I think that Travis Hunter,
10 catches, 116 yards,
he
3
did
touchdowns,
fantastic.
and a pick.
There's no doubt that he did fantastic. He played a great game, but it's been like that all season, is that he's done very, very well, in about one game here or there. Other than that, he's put up, good numbers on both sides of the ball, and I think that that's very impressive. I think that Ashton Jeanty is just as talented as him running the ball as he is on both sides, offense and defense. And so that's just my personal opinion on it, but I will say this. Oklahoma State sucks. And I cannot believe that earlier on in the season, that loss looks so bad to have done that when you had the lead.
Awful.
It's really it's gross. And Oklahoma State, they're kind of, I don't know that they're going to try and, there's any big camps to get rid of Gundy, but that is a fascinating thing to happen there, because Alan Bowman last year looked like, going into the season, all the experience that he had, he did it well last year for Oklahoma State. You'd think that they were kind of, they would, with all the experience they had hold over from the year before, that they had a really good shot to make the college football playoff. That's all what we said, but coming into the season, how big that game was going to be. Oklahoma State was a playoff team, and then they finished 3-9. It's bewildering. It's very, very, very mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's painful to look at that game and then see that Oklahoma State didn't win a game the rest of the way. No conference wins for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. But you have a chance to get a conference win later on today, 2:30. We'll pass the headsets to Phil Elson, Rick Schaefer, and Gino Bell in a little over an hour from now. This game, again, maybe it means something more to the players than it does the fans. Here's what Coach said earlier this week.
Missouri's a big deal. I know we are to them. It's for a trophy. There's definitely a rival there. It's a big deal. It's a big deal to our team. I'm sure it is the coach's team as well. And that's why they call them rivalry games. We just, unfortunately, haven't been able to win up there. And that goes back to when Coach Odom was the coach up there to currently.
Haven't had the Battle Line Trophy in your possession since the 2021 won this game one other time in 2015, and an opportunity to do it today. I haven't looked at the betting line this morning, but last time I checked, Colton, it was around a field goal spread. So, again, Vegas thinks that this is going to be a good game later on today, that it's going to be a close one. Yeah, it's still a 3-point spread on the Bet Saracen app, which I would expect it to have been like a touchdown or not. But like a lot of these games have been, I'd expect it to be tied. And we'll see if Arkansas can overcome issues like turnovers and other late game situations that have plagued them in years past in Columbia.
Yeah, Ty, and I like what you said about how maybe the players today will make this personal to them, about how the game, maybe it means more to them than it does to anybody else, because last year, they got their butts kicked, and I know that it's important that they go out there and try and, win the game again. I know Danico Slaughter said, hey, he's a transfer guy. He said, hey, my brothers got their butts kicked last year. They got hit in the mouth, and so we took it on the chin, and it's personal to them, so it's personal to me. So that's a good attitude that they have, and I know they want to stick it to him today. I hope they have the opportunity to do that. This weather today, man, I think that's playing a big factor into the spread as well. I know that Arkansas has struggled at times to defend the pass this year. And Brady Cook has shown at times to be a really good quarterback. And they have Theo Weiss and Luther Burden, and those two guys are, definitely first-round receivers at some point whenever they come out. So it's going to be really, really important today that our defensive backs can step up to the challenge today. Even if there is, a lot of inclement weather, they're still going to try and get the ball to those playmakers, so they're going to have to make tackles in space and defend well. I know that's going to be a tall task for them, but I think they're up to the challenge today, man. Their backs are not against the wall. I know they've already secured bowl eligibility, but Coach said that that's not all they wanted. This is not, they're not just shooting for a 6-6 season. It's the minimum. And so to go out there and be hungry for more, I think the team is embodying the same attitude that Coach Pittman has. And I don't think that he's just, collecting a paycheck up there. I think that like he said, he's going to fight like hell for the university. And fighting like hell means going up there to Missouri today in the snow and being a hog, baby, running the football and being tough.
So Arkansas, as I mentioned, has won 2 road games already this season, the Southeastern Conference, on the road at Auburn, on the road in Starkville. Here's Coach Pittman addressing that a little bit this week.
Yeah, he's got a cartilage, and we don't know if it's, they can never tell you whether it's repairable or whether they trim it. Obviously, as a new wave, they're repairing more cartilages than what they used to, obviously, if they're able to do.
All right, I think that I think that sound bite is mislabeled personally. But the point I was trying to make is like this has been a team really the last 2 or 3 years that when they've gone on the road, they've at least given themselves a chance to win. And I think there's going to be an opportunity later on today. I think you got to ask yourself if you're Talon Green based on everything that's been said, and I say everything, it's really one thing that's been said about you this week. Can you channel that? Can you not be so over the top, hyped up, and energized where you just play complimentary football to help your team, making the right reads, making sure you're not too amped up? Talon's had his ups and downs this season, his first season in the Southeastern Conference, and this would really be a big notch on his belt if he was able to lead his team to victory today.
Yeah, you don't want Talon to get so amped up that he's out there throwing in the triple coverage and, trying to make plays that are just not capable of being made by anybody. And so I think that today, like you said, playing within themselves and sticking to the brand of football that's done them well all year, Ty, which is having a balanced attack. We've got Jaquindon Jackson back, and he's hopefully going to be as healthy as he was at the beginning of the season when he started off strong. Rashad Dubinion ran as well as I've ever seen him run in a Razorback uniform last game. Granted, I know that it was against Louisiana Tech, but they have a good run defense, and for the first half, they had stuffed us for a little bit. So I think that Dubinion's coming back into form. I know that Braylon Russell, I think, is listed as questionable today. Coach Pittman had talked about his health last game. So if we see him today, they've got a stable of backs they can get the ball to. So hopefully it's not all going to be put on Talon Green's shoulders to go out there and make every single play. Hopefully that there are other receivers that can get open. I think that the connection last week with Tesla 2 times was in the end zone was good for their confidence, their chemistry together. So he's not always going to be keying in on number 2, on Armstrong. And today, hopefully, everything just comes together and they can, claw some monkeys off their back here in Columbia.
You mentioned Braylon Russell being listed as questionable. Probably smart to mention the other players that are on the SEC Friday injury report. Nico Davier, which we knew earlier this week based on Sam Pittman's comments, is out. Jalen Braxton also out. Anthony Switzer and Kyle Ramsey listed as out. Russell questionable, like we said, and then also Anton Junkoch, who started at times this season, is questionable as well. That is your SEC injury report when it comes to the Arkansas Razorbacks. When we return, we're going to talk to our friend SEC Mike, Michael Bratton, that SEC podcast, get his thoughts on this game in Columbia today, which if you haven't seen, it's already snowing. There's snow on the ground in Columbia, Missouri, about 2 to 4 inches, it sounds like, when the game gets going. And we'll get Mike's thoughts on the other games, including his Tennessee Volunteers taking on Vanderbilt in Nashville. That all gets underway when Mike joins us on the other side.
Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house. Arkansas Game Day.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Great day here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Come on by and see us at XC11 I-540 in Fort Smith. We're doing a little Arkansas Game Day, and we're telling you about what's going on here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. State sales tax paid on every single one of their pre-owned vehicles. But let's talk about these Buick Encores for a sec. 2024s, you're going to get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing. This is a great SUV. And again, up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing. Come experience it for yourself. Great day to come test drive some vehicles here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. State sales tax paid on all their pre-owns, and again, a lot of incentives on their new vehicles as well. Come on by and see us, Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith, where you always get more for your trade.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Bartley.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company with a number insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
We're here to play football every play.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Green's going to throw on first down. Steps up into the end zone. Wants Tesla. Complete. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
Cut off, either a run, pass, doesn't matter, but just make them one-dimensional, and we can take it from there.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
I think 7-5, 4-4 in the league, and beat a top 25 team, a top 5 team. I think that would really help us in recruiting and recruiting through the portal.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
And welcome back into Arkansas Game Day. I agree wholeheartedly with Coach Pittman there when it comes to that discussion. We're going to chat with our buddy SEC Mike coming up in just a bit. Your calls and texts more than welcome as well at 877-377-6963 as we're live at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Arkansas Game Day always brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer's Sunrooms as well. Razorbacks with an opportunity to do something they've never done before today. Win in Columbia, Missouri. Again, 2:30 time will be the start for later on today. We got about an hour more of Arkansas Game Day. For those that didn't get a chance to watch the game in Kansas City on CBS, the Razorbacks fell to the Fighting Illini earlier this week on Thanksgiving. 90-77 the final on that one, where Illinois was just shooting out of their minds in the Sprint Center, and they knocked down a barrage of threes in that game, and Arkansas just could not get going really until the second half. So Arkansas, we'll see if they fall out of the top 25 this week. They were 19 heading into that game. That Jaliscalonis, however you say his name, guy, went off against Arkansas. He had 23 points, 7 of 13 from the field, and really gave the Razorbacks a problem in that football game. In the basketball game. 15 of 31 for Illinois from the three-point line. Just compared to Arkansas going 5 of 17. Razorbacks did knock down their free throws either, going 16 to 27 for a 59% clip. So not great for this Arkansas basketball team. They will play, I think it's Miami, if I remember that correctly, in their next game in that ACC SEC Challenge coming up this week. I just want to double check on that. I think that's that Tuesday game. Yep, in Miami, 6 o'clock on ESPN2 is the next game. And then they've also got the game in Madison Square Garden coming up against the Michigan Wolverines. That's at 8 o'clock the following Tuesday. UTSA is in Bud Walton Arena, which is nice. They'll be back for that. And then they've got the game against Central Arkansas in Little Rock. So those are kind of some of your games coming up here for this Arkansas basketball team. Rivalry week is very much upon us. I know that a lot of us don't think that Arkansas, Missouri is the creme de la creme of rivalries, but it is one nevertheless. In terms of the SEC games later on today, you've got plenty of them in the conference. I know Mike is very interested in the game in Nashville, Tennessee, where his Tennessee Volunteers take on Vanderbilt. That's coming up in about 30 minutes from now at 11 o'clock on ABC. South Carolina and Clemson, Louisville at Kentucky, Auburn, Alabama, the Iron Bowl, Florida State, Oklahoma, LSU, and Texas A&M. So that is kind of your setup for these games coming up in just a bit. I think we're still efforting Mike to get him on the air, trying to get him on. We'll do that in just a bit. Go back to some of what Sam Pittman had to say this week when it comes to, hey, what about recruiting kids in Arkansas against Missouri and then going to Missouri and getting some kids?
I'm looking at they're too deep, and, I don't think there's a whole lot of Arkansas kids in that too deep. But to answer your question about Missouri, we've tried. They've got really good players, especially Kansas City and St. Louis, and
think about Ryan Wingo, Ronnie's little brother. He's a St. Louis kid. Now, he ended up going to Texas rather than Missouri, but there's a lot of talent in Kansas City and St. Louis. Hopefully, Arkansas is able to have some success in those cities and really in the entire state when it comes to recruiting those football players. I know a guy that has a lot of success doing what he does is Michael Braden, that SEC podcast. Mike joins us now. Mike, how you feeling about that Tennessee and Vanderbilt game coming up in about 30 minutes from now?
The prayer candles have been lit because old Diego Pavia, the perfect ending to his dream season will be ruining Tennessee. He's going to be motivated to do it. So, I quite honestly, not feeling too good about it.
Are you going? I know it's like 15 minutes from your house. Are you going to make your way over there, or are you just going to take in all the rivalry games today?
Yeah, I just got a 100-inch TV. There's way too much football on to be outside 30-degree weather. That's not going to be me.
That's fair. Are you a quad box guy? Do you keep it on one? How do you go about watching college football, Mike?
No, what I usually do, which is kind of ridiculous now that I have a giant TV, but I bring up 3 to 4 monitors in my living room so I can watch them all separately. It's not a great way to catch all the action, but, I don't want to miss a second of it. So I usually have to rewatch the games on Sunday because it's almost like too much football on Saturday, but I love every second of it.
I hear you on that. Michael Braden's our guest. That SEC podcast does a great job with his buddy Cousin Shane. Mike, when you look at the slate of games today, who in your mind has a chance with the win to give themselves an opportunity to play in the college football playoff from the Southeastern Conference?
Well, I think the main one is South Carolina going on the road at Clemson, which Clemson's ahead of South Carolina. Clemson is the first team out. So South Carolina, if you win that game, particularly if you win it in impressive fashion, Clemson's only beaten one team with a winning record this year. I think they're completely fraudulent. But if South Carolina can go down there and win by a wide margin, finish the season with 6 consecutive victories, I know Alabama and Ole Miss, according to the playoff committee, are ranked right ahead of South Carolina, and each of those beat South Carolina. But I don't know, man. You take arguably the hottest team. I think they deserve to get in. Now they're going to need some help. They probably need like Notre Dame to lose to Southern Cal or something like that. But they will need a little bit of help. But South Carolina is that main one, aside from obviously Tennessee. Tennessee's in with a win. And even Alabama, which I don't think they have any business being there, quite frankly, because they're so inconsistent. But if they win, they're going to need some help as well. But they very well could be playoff bound at 9-3.
Mike, whose seat's hotter heading into next season, Brian Kelly or Kalen DeBoer?
I love questions like this. Give me Brian Kelly because Again, that's not saying much because DeBoer might be right there with him, but I don't know. I mean, I thought they brought Brian Kelly down here to win national championships. I mean, that's what he claimed. That's what all these LSU coaches do. Yet it's his former school that is marching to the college football playoff. Well, LSU hasn't sniffed it in 3 seasons, really. And last year, I mean, I can't believe he didn't get more grief over last year. Well, all the talent they had, and they lost 3 games in the regular season with the number 1 overall pick and multiple first-rounders. And, I mean, I thought they would take a step back. So I'm not horribly disappointed with this season. I'm more disappointed than last season. And I don't see them becoming any kind of force here in the SEC under Brian Kelly. I just really don't.
I wonder if you're a coach in the SEC and you're looking at the landscape of college football right now, do you feel like that you're in a better position just because of the revenue sharing model? This is just because not because of how your season went, but I'm just talking about the fact that it doesn't look like anyone's going to get fired this year, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a play for stability in some sense, but I think if they knew how much they had to pay players next year and they knew where their revenue stood with the television and playoff and on, there's just so many unknowns. I do think it's hard to fire a coach, but I'm seeing it with Arkansas fans. I mean, I love Sam Pittman, and I'm not saying he should be fired because I think they're better than they were last year. It's kind of hard to turn around and fire someone that has improved and he's hit the over. If they beat even, I don't think it's a huge stretch if they beat Missouri. I mean, the spread's only 3 points, but let's say they get to 7-5 and possibly even 8-5 with a bowl win. But it seems like half the fan base, if not more, is ready to move on. Man, I don't know. That's a tough spot to be in. But hopefully, with this House settlement, when that comes through, maybe we'll have a better indication of where things stand in terms of roster building. But I also don't think paying these players outside of that is going away either. I still think some of the teams at the top, like Texas and Texas A&M, who are dying for championships, and Tennessee, throw them into the mix. I still think they'll go over the cap, if you want to call it that, to build a roster.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's any question about that. Mike, let's talk about the game in Columbia, Missouri today. It is snowing already. It's going to be a winter wonderland in Faurot Field. Where's your read on how this game's going to go, or what's your read on how this game's going to go later on at 2:30?
Mm-hmm. Well, I do like Missouri. It seems like it took them about 10 games, but they finally found their offense. This is kind of the offense I thought we were getting, and it's run dependent. It's Brady Cook just making enough plays with these really good receivers to score in the 30s. I mean, quite frankly, they haven't done it until the last 2 weeks, like I said, but it's a little too late. Senior day, there's a lot of emotion there from Missouri, but I think sometimes that does favor the road team because I think he can be a little too emotional. We saw that yesterday with Ole Miss. I mean, they were down against an awful Mississippi State team. So there really is a chance, I think, for Arkansas to win this. I do like Missouri just by a slim margin, but if you could tell me that Taylor Green was 100%, I would kind of lean Arkansas perhaps, but he just looks banged up. He just doesn't look like the same player he was earlier in the season, and I think his nagging injuries have really caught up to him at the tail end of the season here.
Well, is Brady 100%? Because, I mean, that's the flip side is I know he's been banged up this year. Do you think – I know you said the offense has kind of got going a little bit for the Tigers, but do you think Cook's 100% heading into his final game in Columbia?
No, he's definitely not, but just the way they are leaning so heavily on the ground game, it just hasn't seemed to matter the last couple of weeks. And you would think he was – not even scheduled to play for most of the week against South Carolina. They have an outstanding defense that really gets after the quarterback. It almost made no sense to run a Brady Cook, an injured Brady Cook out there, yet they did. And I mean, he looked outstanding in that game. So yeah, he's banged up, but they found a way to make it work with him, even if he's not close to 100%.
Mike, one of the things we kicked around earlier in the show was moving the Missouri and Oklahoma rivalry game towards the end of the season, putting Arkansas and LSU back in its rightful place on this week. Do you think the SEC would change that at all, or is that just wishful thinking on our part?
Yeah, I mean, there is some sense to that, but the problem is I don't think LSU wants that to be the late game against Arkansas. So, I think you're in a tough spot if you're Arkansas because there are another ones that may not have a true rival. Kind of like, you talk to Missouri fans, they hate Arkansas, but it feels like they hate South Carolina maybe even more. So
wow.
This is just such a weird series that some people honor as a rivalry, some people don't. I love it though. It seems like each year it gets more and more intriguing. But what it's really going to take, and this is kind of sad, I'm not trying to make your audience mad, but to make us a rivalry, we need Arkansas to win a couple of these games.
To actually win.
I mean,
yes.
Missouri's been dominating it, and yeah, that's fine. You could say it's not a rivalry, but you make it a rivalry by winning your fair share of them.
Hey, Mike, listen, when you tell the truth on this program, if it ruffles feathers, that's fine, because that's just as cold and as plain and as truthful as it gets. Arkansas's got to win this game. I'm not just talking about today, but in general, like splitting this game, because Missouri has dominated, as has the Aggies dominated the Razorbacks the last 10 to 15 years. Mike, we'll let you go there. I know you got football to watch. I know Corso's about to put on his headset coming up in just a bit. Appreciate you joining us, and hopefully we'll have a great slate of SEC games starting at 11 o'clock today.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, brother.
That's our buddy Michael Brown. That SEC podcast does a fantastic job covering the Southeastern Conference. Quick break here as we're live at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. When we return, we'll continue on Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer's Sunrooms next.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Arkansas Game Day. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Todd Richardson checking in. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. Jimmy, all of your pre-owned vehicles right now, state sales tax paid, and no payments till 2025.
Yeah, you said it all. I mean, right now we've got state sales tax paid on all of our vehicles that are pre-owned. And we've got, I'm looking out here probably at about 300 of those. And so if you're looking for a new vehicle, we've got those too. I know you probably are tired of eating leftovers. Get out of the house, come out and ask for me. I'd love to help you into a new vehicle or a new to you vehicle.
Yeah, and on those new vehicles, man, the 2024 GMC Sierras up to $10,000 off.
Up to $10,000 off, and we've got 0% financing on a lot of our vehicles right now. We haven't seen that in a long time.
Come on by and see Jimmy today. We're at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. We always get more for your trade.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey and Hole Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3010 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you. Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Green going to give it to Jackson, right side, outside the numbers, at the 10, to the 5, touchdown Arkansas.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
I'm going to fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyers, everything for outside the house.
I kind of like the rivalry we got with Arkansas. I mean, I don't remember the last time they beat us. Kind of like that one, and the Battle Line rivalry. I mean, it's pretty good for us.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Is there anything better than football in the snow? That's what the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Missouri Tigers get a chance to play in later on at 2:30 today at Faurot Field. And you think about growing up, and maybe you just went out to your front yard, or maybe you got an opportunity when you were in high school or middle school, or for the select few of you college, to play football in the snow. It's one of my favorite things to do as a kid. And these guys get a chance to do it later on today. Yes, it happens more often in professional times. Maybe we'll see it more in the college football playoff with some Big Ten teams hosting some SEC or other foes when it comes to the, I guess those are the quarterfinal games, but very interesting, first round games, I should say, but very interesting terrain for the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Missouri Tigers later on today. Colton, do we have that clip ready?
I got you, man.
All right. No better way to set this up than let our friend Jameis Winston do it for us.
I am so happy and grateful that the Lord has blessed me to play in some snow, to be in true football weather in Cleveland, Ohio, at Huntington Bank Field today to give him the glory. It's a beautiful day.
Sure feels like you're.
I hope that the Arkansas Razorbacks take that same mentality that Jameis did prior, and they defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers in that game, if I remember that correctly.
Sure
Colton.
did.
So hopefully that same inspiration will follow this Arkansas football team in Faurot Field later on today. You think about some cold weather games that the Arkansas Razorbacks have participated in over the years. Tommy always talks about that early Cotton Bowl back in, I guess it was like 2000, that would have been 2001, 2002, whatever it was. I remember the game that I went to in Stillwater, Oklahoma. There's that 2009 Liberty Bowl that was freezing when you beat Eastern Carolina. That has to be up there. I can't remember if I went to that game or not. I remember it vividly. I think you had Tremaine Thomas have a key interception in that game. But there have been cold games, but I don't know of a lot of occurrences, Colton, that Arkansas has played in a snow game in the regular season, just to be off the top of my head, to be honest.
No, I can't remember a snow game off the top of my head. I remember some cold, drizzly, wet, and rainy ones. I remember they played one at War Memorial when I was a freshman in college, which would have been 2017. I don't remember the game, but I know that I was there. And it was cold and wet, and I think it was Ole Miss. But I don't remember ever having a snow game. But it's definitely, Ty, you ever remember playing Madden, and you go and you could change what the weather was? You always change it to snow. You always change it to snow. It's football weather, like Jameis said. And, I think that's the kind of attitude, like you said, you have to have. You have to go out there and be willing to make the snow angels, to pick the snow out of your face after you get hit, and, you're been drive down into the ground, and you got to be able to just take that in stride. And like we talked about earlier in the show, you can't look like my Miami Dolphins out there and just be soft. You don't want them to cut to a shot of Taylor Green or anybody on the sideline sitting there with one of those big overcoats shivering, looking miserable as the scoreboard reflects a poor day. You don't want those optics. You don't want to see that. Got to be tough.
So you're saying play the complete opposite of how your Dolphins played Thursday night.
That's right.
Okay.
The opposite.
All right. That's a good that's a good statement to end on. As we got 30 more minutes here of Arkansas Game Day live at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, always presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer's Sunrooms. When we return, we'll talk more Tigers and Razorbacks, also jump into some of these other SEC games today, and they'll get started. So we give you some score updates as you're driving around, doing whatever you're doing here on this beautiful Saturday across the Natural State. Arkansas Game Day continues on next.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
This is Arkansas Game Day. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Tom Richardson checking back in. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, XC11 I-540 in Fort Smith. Roddy, you got state sales tax paid, over 300 vehicles on the lot, cars, trucks, SUVs. You guys got it all here.
You got that right, Todd. Look out there. We got over 300 used vehicles on the lot right now waiting for you to come in here and save money. That could potentially be thousands of dollars. What a better time than right here at Christmas to be able to pocket that money and have a little nice Christmas. And, oh, by the way, you don't have a payment to the end of January. So it's the best of all worlds, and as always, you always get more for your trade here at Harry Robinson.
One more time, no payments till when?
The end of January.
2025, that's a long time, a long way away. So come on by and see Ronnie, whether it's a pre-owned vehicle, state sales tax paid, or one of his many new vehicles on the lot. He's got what you're looking for. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, Exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With the never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
At Our Best Bank, we believe in the power of community. That's why we recognize, serve, and support communities of all kinds. From small towns to big cities, business startups to large companies, young families to seniors, and those with shared backgrounds and interests. We value your contributions and are proud to work alongside you because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles. 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Visit their website at shoponrazorback.com with the largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole. It doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
Green gets the snap, pressure coming. Talon forced to run inside the 40, first down at the 35, inside the 30 to the 20, cuts outside of the 10, 5, touchdown Arkansas. No flags. 41 yards and a score for Talon Green.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
I got that wood.
Sawyer's, been in business since 1990, locally owned and operated.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal to our team. I'm sure it is the coach's team as well, and that's why they call them rivalry games. We just, unfortunately, haven't been able to win up there.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
So the first 2 hours, Colton, I'm neglected to ask, how was Thanksgiving? Did you enjoy it with friends and family? Was it eventful or dull?
Oh, it was certainly eventful. It was a terrible day to watch television if you were me, but it was still a great day. I ate so much wonderful food, got to see all of my wife's family. It was a great and wonderful time. Made it back down yesterday to see my family here in Fort Smith, and it was a wonderful Thanksgiving. I had a great holiday. How about you? Did you have a good one, my man?
Yep, we went to Fayetteville, had a good time with family, saw the nieces and nephews and everyone else, grandparents, and the whole shebang. So it was a good weekend. I didn't eat as much as I usually did. Only got seconds. Usually I'm a third and fourth guy, but didn't eat as much as I usually did. Maybe the excessive drinking on Wednesday night played a role in that, but. Maybe not. I don't know. Hey, it's Arkansas Game Day. We're live at this. I'm so used to saying the Stadium Shop. We're live at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Arkansas Game Day, always brought to you by our friends Robert, Elizabeth, and Matthew Mann at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Locally owned and operated by a family. That family of UNA alumni. You're going to find all your Christmas items there, folks. I think I probably spent like $2,000 over the last few years at the stadium because their stuff is awesome. Like Robert, Elizabeth, and like it's not overpriced. You're going to get good quality stuff. I still have everything that I bought from the Stadium Shop on Razorback. People always ask where I get it. Well, I tell them I got it at Robert's Place. Visit their website at shop, SHOPPE, on Razorback.com, and by Sawyer's Sunrooms. Buzz Sawyer and his team can help you with everything you need outside the house, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. They have sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. Visit them online at Sawyers-Sunrooms.com. That's Sawyers-Sunrooms.com. All right, so as of 2 or 3 minutes from now, the Texas and Vanderbilt game will get underway, as will the Clemson and South Carolina game. Tennessee, if they win today, will be in the college football playoff. The Louisville and Kentucky game starting as well. Those teams do not have a shot at the big-time postseason. But you think about the Tigers and the Gamecocks, Clemson a chance to beat an SEC team at home. They're favored by a little less than 3 points. And then Tennessee locks up. Those are two big rivalry games, Colton, that really the significance of them is really showcased by the fact that teams have a chance to go to the playoff later on today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that South Carolina has been really hot as of late. And like we've talked about today, if all the cards fall right, they can still find their way, just kind of squeak in there somehow, some way. And at the same time, Tennessee, I'm sure that Vanderbilt would love to play spoiler one more time to cap off what has been a great season for them, and a really nice story for this college football season. And I know that Tennessee's probably expecting that. You heard Mike talk about how nervous he was because of Diego Pavia, and he's kind of a little bit of he's just got kind of a bad curse for people sometimes, and he's got that dog in him that I think has the ability to stand toe to toe with Tennessee today. But I just don't see Vanderbilt being able to pull that one out today. But I think that what we talked about, Clemson, they really haven't played that difficult of a schedule. And the one team they played with a very, that's ranked or had a, winning record or has had a difficult schedule was Georgia. And they haven't won, and that's the only game that they lost. So they definitely don't have what I think it takes to win the game today. And I think they were already on the first team out list anyway, I believe. So I don't know that Clemson's really going to make any waves today. I think that South Carolina may find a way to squeak in there, honestly.
Might as well get the college football playoff team. I'm with you. I like the Gamecocks in that one. Clemson really just hasn't played a SEC schedule. I know Dabo Swinney has said what he said in years past, and with maybe Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson, it's a different story, but this has just not been the same Clemson team the last couple years. What about the game later on at 2:30 between Auburn and Alabama? Auburn has a chance to get to bowl eligibility if they defeat the Crimson Tide at 2:30. That's a game that I know Alabama's favored by 10 or so points, but I wouldn't be surprised if Auburn made it really tough on them later on today.
Is it happening in Tuscaloosa? That's probably a good thing for Alabama. If it was happening at Jordan-Hare, you could just count on an Auburn win. But I think
should have won last year.
Yeah, I know. I think that Alabama definitely probably pulls this off today. I don't think Kalen DeBoer's job is really at risk of anything. He stumbled in his first year, but they kind of have to identify what their culture is now under him. They obviously can't be the same type of team that they were with Nick Saban, and now with new rules of being able to get revenue sharing and paying players. So it's a little bit different. Alabama has to still establish that, and they're still good enough to have been in the playoff discussion this whole year and not really have an idea of who they are. They'll get better quarterbacks than Jalen Milroe in the future. So I think that things are probably still okay there in Tuscaloosa, but man, Hugh Freeze has a couple more stumbles and they get off to a rough start next year. He'll be gone. I mean, they're crazy.
Let's go to Rector, Arkansas this morning as we welcome in our friend Cody who's calling. If you want to call or text in, it can be Arkansas and Missouri. Again, there's snow on the ground in Columbia right now. There will be with game time. Or you can talk SEC slate. We talk basketball or a little NFL. We got a chance to watch that. Cody, what's on your mind this morning, brother?
Hey, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Man, what a great week of football this week, man. A lot of good games on. I'm really interested in that Arkansas-Missouri game. I'm hoping we can get a fast start going against Missouri, faster start than last week. Taylor Green needs to just settle down. He's a good quarterback, man. He just needs to settle down, make the right reads, and we need to get that run. We need to run the ball today, and I think we'll be fine.
Cody, do you think that? How do you think Taylor's going to respond to what Eli said about him earlier this week. All right, I just said about him. Mispronounced his name. Do you think that has any effect on his game today?
Yeah. I think that's going to motivate him. But I mean, he just got he looks a little shaky sometimes, man, and staying in that pocket. He's just got to just settle down, make the right throws. And on those read plays, I mean, he's got to make the right reads on those read options. I mean, keeping the ball or handing it to the running back. I mean, he's been having issues with that, seems like all year. But if he'll just settle down, I mean, I'm telling you right now, he could be one of the best quarterbacks in college football if he just settle down and make the right throws. But I think we'll be all right today. Missouri's very beatable. Did y'all see that game last night?
Yeah, the game in Athens. Incredible. Won that unbelievable, Cody.
Yeah, that was a crazy game, guys.
I wish Georgia Tech would have pulled it out. I don't know if you were cheering for the SEC or you were going. I was hoping that the Yellow Jackets would find a way to win. They had every chance to, just kind of they choked.
Yeah, I was hoping for the upset in that one, definitely.
Well, Cody, man, appreciate you calling in. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope what you said about Talon comes to fruition later on at 2:30.
Yeah, I think Cody's right, man. I think that he's definitely going to have to stay calm in the pocket. That's one of the things that I think has knocked Talon all year long, is that he doesn't have the pocket presence and awareness that I know that Bobby Petrino wants in his quarterback, and that you need to be successful in the SEC, Ty. So I think maybe today, if we're able to get him in a rhythm and get him going early, we can establish, him and keep him confident throughout the day. You also want to, I think maybe Mike touched on it. We don't know if maybe there is still some lingering injuries too. So I think that if we can keep him clean today, keep him out of harm's way and not get sacked too many times, maybe, I think that he can continue to have a good day. When he gets hit a couple times back there, he gets a little skittish. And he's so tall that you wish he would just stand in there and be able to use his athleticism to sidestep. But when you're that fast, man, your natural instinct is just to go. And that doesn't always lend itself towards, the most amount of success, because there's guys that can chase you down at this level. So Talon's definitely got to be able to be calm, like Cody said today. And I think that also, to his point, like I mentioned, that running game's got to get going. And Jaquindon Jackson's got to be a big factor of that. Speaking of Jaquindon Jackson, it's probably going to be potentially his last game in a Razorback uniform, So I think that maybe today we finally see him. We finally see that pass attempt today, Ty. I think Bobby Petrino pulls out the stops and the former quarterback gets a throw on.
That'd be fun. Jaquindon, like you said, he still has a year of eligibility. We'll see if he elects to come back or if he elects to test the NFL waters. He started his career in Austin, ended up in Salt Lake City for the Utes, and has now been an Arkansas Razorback this season. Been plagued by injuries. Unfortunately, that's just something he's had to deal with the majority of his career. Braylon Russell, by the way, if you haven't seen the SEC injury report, is questionable. That came out last night. Haven't gotten an update on that. I don't think today we'll get that shortly, but just keep an eye on that. We'll see if we see the big product from Benton, Arkansas. Braylon is a guy that has shown some flashes this year, and you'd love to see him. The Tennessee game was awesome to see what he did down the stretch in that fourth quarter, and hopefully he has a chance to get on that field later on today if he is fully healthy. All right, we got one more break, so you got one more segment to get in like Cody just did. That was our first call of the morning. If you want to jump in, give your thoughts on this game in Como. It's snowing. Who affects the game? Who does that affect more? Does it affect the Arkansas Razorbacks? Does it affect the Missouri Tigers? How does Talon respond after getting basically called out this week by the Missouri coach? We'll answer all that and get to more of our thoughts when we return. The final segment of Arkansas Game Day coming up next.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
It's Arkansas Game Day. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
It's Howard Richardson checking back in. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, Exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. No payments until 2025, folks. That means all their pre-owned vehicles that are state sales tax paid don't have to worry about that till the end of January. Their new vehicles, which have incentives like the 2024 GMC Sierras, we can get select ones up to $10,000 off. Those are also applied for that category. So if you want to get that early Christmas present, if you're in the market for a new pre-owned vehicle, first time, luxury, you're going to find it all at Harry Robinson Buick GMC Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. You can always browse their inventory online at harryrobinson.com. Come on by and see us as the Black Friday sales event going on right now at Harry Robinson Buick GMC through December 2nd. Come on by and see us, Exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
In the communities we serve, we know your energy is best spent on the things you enjoy. That's why we're helping you save your energy with natural gas. More efficient than other energy sources, save your energy for cheering on the Hogs. Be tailgate ready with your natural gas-powered outdoor grill. Enjoy fast, cozy comfort from your natural gas fireplace when ball games get chilly. At AOG, we know your Razorback pride runs deep. Ours does too. And so does our commitment to caring for the communities we serve with always on energy. Visit AOGC.com.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Starting Friday the 29th, it's the After Thanksgiving sale at the Solid Rock. Come enjoy the beautiful Christmas atmosphere and savings throughout the store. Lots of Christmas decor items, including glitter globes, a must-see for those who love snow globes. T-shirts, personalized gifts, women's boutique items, greeting cards, and of course, Bibles with free engraving. Come enjoy the Christmas season at the store that honors Christ all year long. Shop the Solid Rock, located next to Sam's Club on South 74th and Fort Smith. The Solid Rock, serving the River Valley for over 48 years.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. The merger of two good companies brings together strengths to make one great company. Regerson is now Sharp Equipment. Even though it will no longer have Joe, Jesse, or Sheila as they go off on another adventure, the foundation they have laid is now a strong asset along with Sharp Equipment to complement its offerings to their great customers. Sharp Equipment would like to thank the Taylors and look forward to continuing to serve the River Valley and beyond. Stop in at 5608 Wheeler Avenue and see what all Sharp Equipment has to offer.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I know there's a lot of people that don't like me. They made sure to tell me about it when I was in the stadium.
Talon Green.
Talon forced to run inside the 40, first down at the 35.
Talon Green.
Inside the 30, to the 20, cuts outside of the 10.
It is a difficult state to pronounce. Talon Green.
5, touchdown Arkansas. No flags.
I may mispronounce his name, but Talon Green.
41 yards and a score for Taylor Green.
Just based off reading my Twitter mentions, I'd say it's pretty strong.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day. It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Talon Green.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
I want to keep an eye on what's going on in Nashville, Tennessee right now. So not only did Vanderbilt score the opening kickoff, but they are driving. I think it's a 3rd and 5 on the Tennessee 11. So they're in the red zone already. Let's go Doors.
I'll happily be wrong. I will happily be wrong about everything I just said. I mean, if Vanity beats them, that make me feel great. I don't particularly care. I'm not an SEC purist.
You would have no idea.
Oh yeah,
who would go to the college football playoff if Tennessee was to lose today?
Yeah, that would be
no idea.
That would be a total wrench in everything.
Ryan says, watch out for Vanderbilt, as does B in Clarksville. We're on the Vanderbilt train today, fellas. Mm-hmm. We are on the Vanderbilt train. Hey, Skip from Rogers asking a question. You could do so the same as Skip. It's 877-377-6963. What's the status of Patrick Kudus to play? Is he playing, and does he still get a redshirt eligible? Skip, yes, and he has an opportunity to play in the bowl game as well, is my understanding, and still keep his red shirt. They didn't play him last week because they wanted to save him for this game. I'm like 99% sure that's correct. Another text. This comes from Bryn in Kentucky. Hold on. This thing is, don't you love when the mouse toggle just doesn't want to work? Oh, man. All right. I hate a forced rivalry with Missouri. It's not who you want to be measured with by. The SEC hurt Arkansas with the switch. That's who he wants in. Missouri doesn't have good food, historic facilities, good shopping, or good weather, and this game has no consequence. That's why he doesn't like this game. Again, serious look. Missouri, Oklahoma end of the year. That game means something to both schools, Arkansas and LSU. Apparently LSU, I didn't realize from Chris. Chris is an LSU alum, and apparently LSU fan base wants to play Arkansas again. So why not make it happen, SEC? Hopefully that's the case. Hogwild Van Buren texted in. This is a shot at both of us. He said that we never actually played football. It's dumb to think Taylor Green would care whatsoever about what Drink said. Only thing he's worried about is the game plan, some ridiculous comments that were meant to stir media reaction, and we played right into it. Well, Hogwild and Van Buren, guys have emotions, whether you played junior high, high school. Some of us got a chance to play college. I'm saying some of us, not including myself. Social media and also other stuff plays into this. And if you think it doesn't, you're nuts. Like the idea that you are just going to be completely oblivious of what the other head coach says about you is stupid. You get text about it. The players talk about it. You can say that might be something you say as a coach. We're just worried about the in-house stuff and just us. But that's not actually true. Like any classification of sports, that stuff gets back to the player. So very much disagree with you, Hogwild and Van Buren. Maybe you were oblivious to all that stuff when you were playing back in the day because it didn't exist, but it does in today's day and age.
I would say that, I would say that Talon definitely heard it. Now, whether or not he thinks anything of it or not, I don't know. Talon's probably had knocks on him his whole life for, being one way or the other or sticking out one way or the other. Or, I'm sure people tried to put him in a different box. They see a tall, fast guy. They might think, hey, you ought to try playing basketball, or hey, you ought to put some gloves on, kid. So he wants to be a quarterback. And so he's used to criticism. He's used to a little bit of critique. What some dork from, Missouri says is not going to bother Talon Green, I don't think. He's not going to let it, let his play deteriorate. Hopefully, like I said, that he lets it motivate him, and I think that he will. And while, no, I didn't have, a illustrious football career, neither did you, Ty. I don't think that Hogwild and Van Buren, one of our frequent flyers here, I don't think that his status in the football kingdom is really much to write home about either. But at the end of the day, he's right. I think that Talon Green better have a game plan today, and he's better be, trying to execute it, and he can't let the noise distract him. So to your point, Hogwild, yes.
We do have some updates today for you. Vanderbilt has scored again, 14-0 on Tennessee, about 10 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Anchor down,
Let's
baby.
Go Doors. Anchor down. South Carolina, Clemson still tied with a little over 9 minutes to go. It's 0-0. Louisville has scored on Kentucky. That one's 7-0 in Lexington. And again, you've got the Iron Bowl, same time as Arkansas today, Florida and Florida State, Oklahoma and LSU, and Texas A&M all tonight later on. You had two good games yesterday. Hopefully that's a precursor, Colton, of what's today between the game in Athens. And honestly, I thought the game in Oxford was going to be a blowout, but Mississippi State played those guys tough last night.
Yeah, you really were. I was really hoping that Mississippi State would somehow be able to notch one conference win for them. I like Jeff Lebby. I think that was a good hire for them. Their defense really rose to the occasion last night when that's been one of their biggest detriments all year. And it seems the one time they really needed, Van Buren to be as good as he's shown this year in flashes, they just couldn't come up. And it's a testament to Ole Miss. They've got great athletes all over the field. They put it together. They definitely had much better players, all 22, but I would have liked to have seen Mississippi State play, just dig one into the heart of Ole Miss. But, credit to them. They figured out a way to win the game. But if I'm Ole Miss, I definitely have a sour taste in my mouth about this season. I certainly wouldn't feel too happy about potentially one of our best teams in school history barely squeaking by, 2 touchdowns, but it didn't feel like it. One of the worst Mississippi State teams in history.
They scored late. Yeah. That was a good touchdown catch from pre-scoring that Dart found on a long third down play. So I just mentioned them. We got a couple Louisville fans here at the dealership, Harry Robinson Buick GMC. I said it was 7-0. 6-leg parlay. There you go. Do you have any parlays on today's games, Colton, at all?
No, I'm usually just do it around the big sports holidays, so the Super Bowl and March Madness and the beginning of college football season. I've made probably 5 bets lifetime and won $0. So not the greatest expert or authority on that by any means, but it's fun to play with them. I like to do the ones that you pick 9 games and you bet $5 for a chance to win, $5,000. That's what I like. Those are my type of odds.
Let me ask you this: would you bet on Arkansas today? Does the snow help or hurt Arkansas? Would you bet on the Razorbacks later on at 2:30 in Columbia, at a place they've never won, or would you bet on the Tigers?
Well,
be honest.
I can be honest. I'd probably if the money is on Missouri by 3, that's probably where I would go with it too. I think that's probably fair. They've shown to be a more complete team throughout the season. They're playing at home in the snow. I think I would take them without the snow either. But I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd absolutely love it. Nothing would make me happier than for the Razorbacks to go out today and fire off on all cylinders and just wipe that stupid smile off his face. But I think that the Razorbacks today, they're going to have a tough task no matter how you look at it. And it coming down to a field goal or it coming down to, that fourth quarter and just a couple drives, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
By the way, we did get a text from Hog Wild Van Buren that he was an all-conference safety at Cedarville. So
Twice.
To apologize.
I appreciate it. Hey.
So we just have Hog Wild. We just have a difference of opinion than you. That doesn't mean either one of us is wrong. We just this is like it's not a fact either way. We just agree to disagree, I guess, in this case. Well, we appreciate everyone joining us here today on Arkansas Game Day, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer's Sunrooms. Appreciate Harry Robinson Buick GMC hosting us as well. Coming up, Phil Elson, Rick Schaefer, Gino Bell take you on for the Learfield pregame, and then Chuck and Quinn get you going in Columbia. Hope they're bundled up. I would guess they are. For Colton Little, I'm Todd Richardson. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Have a great day, everybody.
Finally, football season. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is your #1 place to watch Arkansas and